somebody walking into Yankee Stadium wearing a pair of Mets shorts and or Mets colours, and you get the idea. That's a canny bit of PR from Chris Eubank. The MC is Alan Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, promoted by Matchroom and sponsored by the Daily Mirror and the Sunday Mirror, we are proud to present the main attraction of the evening, a super middleweight contest at 12 stone over 12 rounds, each of 3 minutes duration, for the vacant WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the world. Your judges for the contest are Dave Parrish of London, England, Craig Brunet of New Jersey, Nelson Vasquez Santiago of Puerto Rico. Your WBO supervisor is Ed Levine of Miami, Florida, and your British Boxing Board of Control steward in charge is Bill Shearing. Your referee for the contest is Roy Francis of Kent, and your timekeeper, Ray Rice of Morton. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing to you in the red corner with the red and white shorts, with 26 wins from 30 contests, 22 inside the distance, the current Commonwealth middleweight champion from Islington in London, Michael Watson!
The force against the best. There's the former undefeated WBO World Middleweight Champion.
Unbeaten in 28 contests, 17
Freddie King there on the right. There's Ronnie Davis in the foreground.
WBO Middleweight Champion of the world, Chris Eubank!
And he's got 1 or 2 fans here tonight. He's won 1 or 2 over. And the Tottenham shorts might have done something to do with it.
At the weigh-in at 10 o'clock today at the Grosvenor House Hotel, Michael Watson scaled 11 stone 12 pounds. Chris Eubank 11 stone 13 pounds. I thank you.
Here's a message from the police. Will people please
Well, it's
stand on their seats, please.
very chilly, very windy here at White Hart Lane in North London. We saw Frank Bruno against Joe Bugner in this ring. Now that was dramatic enough. This is 12 rounds for the vacant WBO Super Middleweight Boxing Championship of the world. The first round is now underway. Eubank in navy, Watson in white.
Yeah, look for Watson to make a quick start on this deal. He'll be closing the distance down and trying to whack Eubank around the body. And Eubank won't be as weak now at 12 stone that he was at 11 stone 6 around the body.
Well, it's a fast start by Michael Watson.
Watson looks to have a slight lump on his left cheekbone. I wonder was that caused in sparring, or is he always like that? I don't know the fellow well enough, but this is a very fast start from both guys. But this is the way Watson has to start, in my opinion. He's got to put pressure on Eubanks, close down the distance, and just bang him around the body and make him work. Eubanks, on the other hand, has got to keep him off, smack that jab out, and that stunning right hand as he walks forward.
Well, the first fight, the last, or I should say the first half dozen rounds, the first 4 or 5 rounds certainly belonged to Chris Eubank. And Watson obviously determined that he is not going to let that happen again. But it's a good start by Michael Watson.
A better start from him in the first round of the last fight. He walked onto a lot of shots. Wasn't as persistent.
Now remember, both boys essentially counter punchers.
Yeah, Eubanks has got to throw more punches. He can't just concentrate on the right hand. He's got to let the left hook go as well. Let the punches go, let them flow. Punch in bunches. That's what he's got to do, because that's what Watson's going to do.
Into the last minute of the opening session. Been a good round for Michael Watson so far. We mustn't talk about champions and challengers, remember.
Good left hook from Watson to the body.
Eubank talking to him.
Yeah, Watson's taking a chance coming forward there. He's really rushing in, but on the other hand, he's putting a lot of pressure on Eubank, and he's throwing a lot of shots.
Now remember, from previous fights that we've seen Chris Eubank involved in against Nigel Benn, and also in the first Watson encounter, doesn't like body shots. Can take him on the chin seemingly all night long.
Watson doing exactly the right thing. He's got to put as little distance between him and Eubanks as possible and throw loads of punches. It's a good round for him.
Yes, Michael Watson is taking this first round. Roy Francis steps in briefly. Out of the first round, I give that to Michael Watson, Barry.
Yeah, that's Watson's done.
Now remember, we're scoring WBO, which means the winner of a round gets 10 points, the loser 9, or if there is a knockdown or a round is particularly one-sided, the loser of that round gets 8 points. So that's how to keep score if you want to do this at home. Roy Francis does not score. We have 3 ringside judges from Great Britain, from the USA and from Puerto Rico, and their scorecards will be totted up if this goes the full 12-round trip. Jimmy, your thoughts on the first round?
Well, Michael Watson's got a scar in his mind, and he's getting it out of his system as quick as possible. He's started off where he left off in the last fight. You know, he started very aggressively. He's thrown more punches in the opening round than he threw in the first 4 of the first encounter. And he's obviously in a frame of mind to, you know, pulse the pace, live up to his name of the fight. It'll be interesting to see how Chris Eubank responds. The pace of the fight's going to test his stamina for sure.
Second round, Watson in the white, Eubank in the navy. And this is certainly a much more determined Michael Watson tonight. The work rate, absolutely terrific at the moment. I don't think he can, well, I know he can't keep this up for 12 rounds.
Yeah.
Eubank's first sustained attack.
Eubank has got to try and punch up because
Watson says, you want to rumble? Okay, let's rumble.
both boys are really, you know, all the hate, all the build-up of the last 9 weeks, the press conferences and everything else is all coming out now. Both guys getting out of their system very early indeed. They won't even think about tiredness for another round or two.
Well, we said both boys would unquestionably be stronger. The question that has to be answered is which of the two will be the stronger. They've both got in some damaging shots in this round.
And not just physically, mentally as well. You know, both boys have really fired themselves up and they're going to have to go through hell to get the upper hand. Both are so determined. The craft, both we know possess it. And the mental side of it, if it goes on at this pace, will come into it. No question.
Oh, Eubank putting together some good shots to the head. Michael Watson comes winging back. That's the first real good cluster we've seen from Watson, from Eubank. They all got through.
Both boys need to be in tremendous shape because this pace is absolutely electric.
Ooh, taking a very close look at that little bump on the Watson left cheek. I don't think it's an old sparring injury. It looks more like an insect sting or something like that, or a little spot or a pimple. I don't think it's anything that's been caused in the gym. It's certainly not causing him any inconvenience at the moment. We're in round 2.
I don't think I've ever seen Chris Eubank in a fight at this pace. And
no.
It'd be interesting to see how he stands up to it.
Well, the start of the Watson, the Nigel Benn fight was pretty frantic.
And normally we see Chris going side to side using the ring and using his brains and that thing, but tonight he's got physical right from the off. Not because he wanted to, I don't think, but Watson's made that type of fight. He's jumped right on him from the beginning. And I read an interesting quote from Mike McCallum in a press yesterday, and he said, to beat Eubank, you've got to sit on him at all times. And I know Michael Watson's admiration for Mike McCallum is absolutely the utmost. And he's probably taken that to the limit. He really isn't letting Eubank out of his sights.
Last 10. Watson gritting his teeth, marching forward.
He wants to watch what's going on to one of Eubank's counters, because Chris is a forceful puncher with a right hand, and particularly I should imagine carrying his extra poundage.
That was a good round by Eubank. It certainly started off very well. He landed a couple of good clusters and certainly hurt Watson at some stage in that round, in the early part of the round. But Watson finished it stronger, and you know, it's a very close round because he finished stronger. You know, and this fight is going to be. This is a series of punches here from Eubanks where he actually hurt. He did shake and watch Watson's back leg stagger there. He did hurt him with that punch, but Eubanks has not got to throw 1 and 2 punches. He's got to throw 3, 4, 5 sets of combinations. That's what he's got to do. And if he's going to stand there and trade with Watson, he's got to throw more than 1 and 2 punches.
I scored that an even round because although Watson was landing, Eubank was landing heavier shots, Watson was doing what he didn't do in the first fight, was keep throwing that jab, and the jab was getting through. And a good right hand from Michael Watson at the very start of the third round.
Eubank doesn't like pressure, and he doesn't like somebody to keep on top of him throwing punches. What Watson is doing is he's coming at him, but he's giving himself room to get out, and he's presenting a difficult target to hit. He's tucking his hands up, and what Eubanks in the last fight teed off with that right hand in the early rounds and really hurt Watson. Now Watson's getting that left jab up, stopping that right hand coming over the top and keeping on top of Eubanks, making him work. Even if he's not working, he's making Eubanks work. And this is the right sort of tactics to beat Eubanks, and Eubanks already looking like he's blowing a bit.
Well, this is Michael Watson's third attempt to win a world championship. Mike McCallum stopped him in 11. Eubank outpointed him.
Eubanks has got to hurt Watson to stop him coming on like this, and he hasn't done it so far in this round. He's got to hurt him. That's a good right hand, but he's got to throw more than just 1 punch.
Eubank fell away very, very badly in the last 2 or 3 rounds of the previous fight. Maybe he's trying to pace himself a little bit better in this contest.
Could be. He's also trying to headhunt too much. He's not going for the body. He's teeing off on Watson's head. He should be working the body too.
Midway through the round.
He's doing what he done in the last fight, Dave, in the latter rounds. He's only fighting in bursts. He should be fighting consistently, Eubank. Even if they're light punches, just throw them. Watson's doing the work here. This is another round for him, a good, impressive round.
Those shots taken on the gloves. They look good. They didn't hurt Watson. Good defense. That got through. And so did that.
Stopped a good right hand, Eubank, right down the pipe. I heard him.
Yes, good round this for Michael Watson.
He's putting in the early work like I predicted he had to do. There's no doubt that he is working very hard in these early rounds. He's taking a chance, but he's putting the pressure on and he's wearing Eubanks down. You can see Eubanks' the strength draining out of him.
Have a look at confidence about Michael Watson now. Not you. He's putting a lot into these opening rounds. He may pay the price later if he doesn't succeed in his obvious game plan of trying to put Eubank away early in the fight. End of the round. We're going to take a very short break, but you'll be back for plenty of time for the start of round 4.
I see Michael Watson forcing the pace, but as I've said before about good fighters, they can force the pace without taking shots, and Watson's one of the best defensive fighters you'll see. Very smart fighter, well tucked up, and he's not letting Chris Eubank settle into a pattern.
Yeah, but Jimmy, can he keep this up for 12 rounds?
That's the million-dollar question.
I don't know. It's a brave tactic if it works.
But let's not forget Chris is firing back as well, so both boys have got to do the 12 rounds. So, you know, they're both expending a lot of energy.
Well, I'd suggest Watson putting more into these opening exchanges than Eubank is. But at the moment, Michael Watson firmly in the driving seat in this contest for the vacant WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the World. Watson took that last round, no doubt about it.
You know, the pride side of things is taking over, I think, the right play. This is what Eubanks needs to do, not mix it with Watson. Watson's physically very, very strong.
Yeah, Eubank getting the jab to work now, and it's crisp and it's sharp.
Chris has got good foot movement as well, Dave. He should get on his bike now and start outboxing Michael Watson, and not look to stand there and outsmack him and have a physical war. Because he's playing into Michael Watson's hands, basically.
I'm a little bit concerned about that left eye of Michael Watson. It's looking a little bit puffy.
Eubanks won't take long to notice it. But I'll tell you what, the action these two have put in the opening few rounds, for me, is better than the 12 of their first fight. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, they say the sequels are never as good as the original.
Eubanks' eye.
Yeah, Eubank cut, left
A
eye.
bad cut as well. I don't think he's ever been cut in his career.
No, I don't think he has. He has now.
That's all Watson will want to see. It'd be interesting to see how Chris handles it now, because this is another experience for him as a professional fighter. He may panic. You don't know how he's going to react. He might just mix it, go mad and clash of heads, and it could be really terrible. He needs to keep his cool now and try and get through the round without too much clashing on that head, and let his corner go to work on it.
Oh, that was a good left hand from Eubank. Watson forced to hold, lean on.
That was a good body shot from Chris Eubank. Left hook round the side of the body. But Watson's...
Despite the fact he's cut, I reckon Eubank's taking this round. Heavier artillery coming from the former champion.
He may be feeling as if the fight's sliding away with the cut, and possibly the fact that he's took more shots in the opening stance.
That is a bad cut. That is right on the left eyelid. The Watson fan club wakes up, and Watson looking supremely confident at the moment.
Got home with a jab there as well. Watson's doing everything right, really. He's sitting right on Chris Eubank. He's not giving him a moment's respite. Absolutely the right tactics.
Last 10 of this round 4.
I don't think I've seen Chris Eubank under this type of pressure.
A late flurry from Michael Watson. I still give that round to Chris Eubank, Jimmy.
Well, that's interesting because I made it a very even round. Watson got on top at first and Chris come back in the middle of the round with some smart boxing and some good sharp counters. But as the fight is developing now, it looks like we've got a classic on our hands.
Well, Freddie King working overtime, dealing with that cut. It looks a bad cut, Barry.
Yeah, it's a bad cut, and the most important thing, as Jimmy just said, he's never had a cut before. He has to handle that, and psychologically, that's put him a step or half a round down. He's got to learn to cope with that, and he's now in a very difficult fight. And we're coming up to the 5th round here, and it's been really tough so far, and he really has a fight on his hands.
Well,
Really
Roy
has a fight
Francis
on
coming
his
over to have a little look.
10 seconds.
And this being a world title fight, he will give Chris Eubank every bit of latitude, as indeed, of course, he would do Michael Watson as well. Round 5.
Dave, the reason Eubanks had success in the early part of the last fight was because he used his jab. He's forgot to use the bread and butter punch, which is the old left jab, and that's the reason he hasn't been hitting Watson with that right hand or any follow-up left hooks, because he hasn't popped him with the jab. He's only started to use it in the last round, and we're 4 rounds into the fight and he's only starting to flick that jab, and he's already expended a lot of energy. So he's really under pressure here, Eubanks, and it'll be a big night for him if he pulls this one off.
Michael Watson, remember, upset all the odds when he beat Nigel Benn, and I tell you this, it's looking good for the man from Islington in North London tonight.
Eubanks' composure is gone, Dave.
Yes, it has.
He's starting to lose his composure. He's not placing his feet right. His punches are looking sloppy, whereas Watson's are looking nice and tidy and compact. And look at the way he's getting those hands up. He's not taking anything in return. He's popped the right hand. Now Eubanks has got through there with a few shots, and that's what he's got to do, Eubanks. Eubanks got to put him back with that left jab. He's got to hurt him and get his respect.
Freddie King done a pretty good job on the left eye. It's just weeping a little bit of blood, but the corner, the blue corner, the Eubank corner, have done a good job.
Dave, Eubank has to have a big round soon. He's got to hurt Michael Watson. He's got to push him back and hurt him. You know, 1 and 2 punches is not enough. He's got to put more than that in. There's a good right hand, but he's not following up. He's got to land more than that.
And Eubank looking pretty tired, and it's only the 5th.
There's a bang of heads there on Eubank's foot left eye. Again, the blood seeping out of it.
Difficult to see what the Eubank game plan is at this stage. Whatever it is, it's not working. Jimmy Tibbs in the Watson corner urging his man on.
Dave, Eubanks is tired. He looks a tired fighter at this stage, and you wonder has had all those fights that he's had in the last year and a half been just too much for him. He looks a tired fighter at this stage, and Watson looks the fresher and much sharper.
Well,
and he's winning this fight. He's winning it big, and Eubanks has got to hurt him, and hurt him very soon. That's a good right hand right on the button there. Oh, another good right hand from Eubank.
Well, Nigel Benn's in the crowd, and we're going to hear what he has to say. He's talking to Gary Newbon.
Nigel, why are you yelling for Michael Watson?
Funny thing about they're both beating me, but I've got a lot of respect for Michael inside the ring and outside the ring, and no person more than me would like to see Michael win a title.
Well, do you think Eubank's winning at the moment, though?
No.
Why not? Why do you think Watson's in front?
His aggression, he's coming forward, he's connecting with good shots. I mean, I'm really so happy that he's actually changed his tactics and come out and being so aggressive.
Can he keep this pace up, though, Michael, do you think?
Can Eubank last this long? Who knows? But, you know, please God, I hope he does. Nobody else likes to win a title more than Michael. Good guy. Come on, Mike!
Well, no prizes for guessing who Nigel Benn is supporting. It's the man coming out of the red corner, Michael Watson, in the white trunks.
That was a good right hand from Eubank at the start of that round. Of course, Michael's got to stay tight, even though he's on top and he's rolling and he can taste the title. He's still got to stay tight because Eubank just needs one opportunity to get through with a good shot, and then he'll come to light. But Michael Watson, you know, he's boxing absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, this is a throwback to the Michael Watson who was such a wonderful winner against Nigel Benn and such a brave loser against Mike McCallum.
Let's not forget that, Dave, the Mike McCallum fight. You know, Watson's been in there with McCallum, who's, you know,
That was a slip, no knockdown.
McCallum's a great fighter, and this is the type of tactics he adopted to try and take McCallum's title. He went out there very aggressively, but got found out in the later rounds. But tonight he's really walking through Chris at the moment, and Eubank has got to try and get some respect out of Michael Watson.
Well, at the moment, Watson all over him like a rash. Eubank trying to get that jab to work, but Watson giving him not a second.
See, the difference is as well, the pace has been very, very fast, but I would imagine Chris Eubank is probably feeling it more than Watson because Watson's on top. You can go all night when you're winning. It's when you're behind you start feeling a little bit sorry for yourself and start doubting yourself, and maybe Chris Eubank's doing it now. And also, as we said earlier, he's also cut. It's another thing that he's never experienced. He's got to show real championship qualities now to hold on to his 28-0 record, which he's so proud of.
Another slip, no knockdown. No knockdown, just a slip.
Watson's got the eye of the tiger.
Certainly has.
Eubanks looks really, really tired to me.
Well, maybe this is one fight too many. He's had some tough ones, and he's certainly not the fighter who beat Nigel Benn. He's not the fighter who beat Michael Watson, and he's hurt.
He's taking shots for Eubank. This is what I was saying before the fight. The strength of Watson at 12 stone will be frightening. He really looks the stronger man at close quarters. But having said that, as I said earlier, he is winning the fight, so it's easier to look good when you're winning.
Yes, Watson's best round this is. But Eubank comes back, the eye bleeding again. Great fight.
See, I think if Chris could, he knows in his mind what he should be doing. He knows he shouldn't mix it with Watson now. He should go behind the jab and use his feet. But he must be feeling very, very tired. He looks shaky and on a survival course at the moment, even though he's trying to fire back and take the play away. This is all down to cardiovascular. This is the conditioning that you've got to go through to get yourself in great shape so you can come back from these type of tired moments. Has Chris paid the price? That's what he's got to be asking himself. Watson looks like he certainly has. Good round for Watson.
Good round for Michael Watson. We're going to take another short break. We'll be back. No doubt about that.
Yeah, here's Watson pummeling Eubank in the corner, battering him with body punches, battering him with head punches, and Eubank's just standing there and allowed it to happen. The problem is this, Dave. Eubanks has not the ability to fight in close the way Watson can fight in close, and there's the immediate reaction from that left hook to the body from Watson. Watson's pouring all over the top of him, taking the risk of doing it, and it's paying off. He's just sapped all Eubank's strength, and Eubanks cannot fight at this pace. He's a nice, beautiful boxer, flashes of brilliance, and wants to fight at his pace, but Watson hasn't allowed him to do this. He's poured all over him, and he's really hurt him, and he's sapped his strength. He looks a really spent fighter, even in the 7th round.
If there is any gaps at all in Eubank's preparations for this contest, they are going to be ruthlessly exposed. He sets himself a tough schedule of fights, and you never know, tonight might be just the one too many.
Yeah, he's had a lot of fights in the last 12 months, and they all take their toll on the fighter. We're all human
Watson
beings.
cut, left eye.
Yeah, Watson's cut on the left eye. Haven't seen that yet, Dave. How
Yes,
bad is it?
it's on the eyebrow. It's not too bad, but he is cut, Watson. So both men cut now.
But look at Eubanks on the inside. He throws 1 and 2 punches. Watson's throwing 3, 4, 5, 6, and then turning and switching an angle and throwing more. Eubanks is not working enough. Is he cut, Dave, or is that just a bruise?
I think it's a little graze. It's nothing serious, but there definitely is a little graze. Certainly a little blood on the eyebrow, and it's not Eubank's blood, it's Watson's own.
Yeah, Watson's still pouring all over Eubanks. Eubanks slowly running out of gas, just being punched to pieces at the moment here.
Yeah, another good round for Mike Watson, this.
Watson's played his cards exactly right so far. He's put the pressure on
Bit of
Eubanks.
bandaging coming undone round Eubank's left glove.
Eubanks needs the rest more than Watson at this stage, and
Sure does.
He's got to hurt Watson with that right hand. He's missing. He's not using the jab. He's just pawing with it, and he should be nailing Watson with right hands and left hooks, and he's taking a lot of stick in return.
Well, Watson claimed he was robbed in the first contest, aiming to leave no such room for any doubts in this one, and he is doing just that. Last 10, another good round for Michael Watson. Jimmy Tibbs going to work on the eyebrow.
Eubank should be going back to that corner much quicker. It's at this stage that he needs that extra couple of seconds. And he's really tired looking in that corner, really tired.
There's a good point picked up by Barry in that round, that when they're going head to head, Michael Watson's throwing his punches in clusters of 3s, 4s and 5s even, and Chris is just throwing the 2 shots. So if they're going to fight that type of fight, then Watson's going to keep the upper hand. You can see in this stance here is Watson's forcing Chris Eubank back, looking to corner him, bang, there's that big right hand he's been throwing on a regular basis over the top, and it landed flush yet again. Testament that Chris Eubank, as he always says, he's got a cast iron chin, he needs to have it.
Second belt, round 8.
Round 8, scheduled 12 rounder. Michael Watson in white, Chris Eubank in the navy and white. This for the vacant WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the World. You're watching it on ProBox on Screen Sport.
This is going to be a new test for Chris Eubank now, to fight when he really is under sustained pressure, and as we said earlier, possibly out of gas.
Watson trying to finish it.
He really has adopted the right tactics. He's taken a calculated risk, and at the moment, it's paying the right dividends. But Chris Eubank, credit to him, the champion, he's trying, the former champion I should say, at the middleweight division, trying to come back and take the play away, but Watson is over him like sauce over spaghetti bolognese. He really is sitting right on top of him.
Minute gone in this round 8. Roy Francis having a quiet evening. It's an open, fast, clean contest. No knockdowns.
Eubanks is really struggling to find a way to deal with Watson because he hasn't having time to think and work things out. Every moment of the round, Watson is right in front of him, unloading. Michael Watson, I know with Jimmy Tibbs training him, he will be in great shape, and he'll need to be because the pace he's set, and there's still quite a few rounds to go.
Eubank getting through with the odd good shot, but they are just that, just single good shots.
I think coming into the fight, people underrated how strong Watson could possibly be at this poundage. He looks phenomenally strong.
He does.
Now, let's not forget Chris Eubank is a very strong man, very strong. Good puncher, but really tonight he looks like he's fighting against a man possibly a weight higher. To win this fight now though, I think Chris has lost too many rounds. He's got to change things, he's got to do something. He's got to try and shake Watson up and possibly take him out.
Oh, what a couple of heavy bombs going in from Eubank, and he caught Watson. Oh, and he's got him in trouble. He has got him in trouble. Watson comes back.
This is a great fight.
Eubank covers up.
Eubank's possibly starting to get desperate now and unloading with her bombs and really trying to take Watson out.
Oh, it's desperation time for Eubank. Watson firmly in control. I had him 3 rounds in front going into this round. But it's been not a bad round for Eubank.
He's gone off like a sprinter, Watson, and he finds himself in front after 8 rounds.
He's got to win this fight by knockout. It's the only way he can win. He's too far behind.
4 rounds to go, including this one.
We talked in the earlier rounds, yourself and Jimmy talked about the strength of the two fighters, and there's no question that both of them are stronger. But the difference is, Dave, that Michael Watson is so much fitter. Eubank doesn't seem to have worked on his stamina, and it looks like the fact that he could make the weight easier, he actually eased up in his training. He looks so much more unfit. I can't understand it. There must be a reason for it, and you have to say, has he worked hard enough for this fight? And in my opinion, he hasn't. There always was a question mark over his stamina, but tonight it's been really showing up.
Once again, Watson comes forward.
Those body punches are hurting Eubank far more
I know.
than the head punches. He's protecting. Watch the hands tucking down to watch the body.
And Watson able to unbalance him so easily in this contest.
Now here we have the 9th round, and watch Eubank just starting to throw body punches. He should have been throwing them from the very beginning. Mixing his punches up and down. And he's knackered at this stage. He's really showing signs of fatigue.
Ronnie Davis alongside me just leaned in, screamed at Eubank. Chris, you got to work.
I don't know that he has the energy left to work, you know that. He really looks tired, and Watson is on a roll here. Oh, that is a superb right hand that Eubank landed. That's the best right hand he's landed all night.
Eubank looking so apprehensive whenever Watson comes forward. Watson now bleeding from the nose.
Eubank's tucking those elbows up to watch that body. And Watson really taking chances here as he comes forward. Eubanks has got to do more work. He's thrown some beautiful right hands, but too little, too late.
And the majority of them just bouncing off.
yes, the extra weight has helped Watson absorb a punch. There's no question about that. He's absorbing the punch better, and obviously he's so much fitter.
Under 30 seconds left of the 9.
Eubank is on the verge of being stopped here. He has to be careful because he really looks tired, and Watson is pouring all over him. He needs a knockout to win here, Dave.
Yes, I do not disagree.
Well, what have we got here? Because now the fight is really in Watson's corner, and it's up to Michael Watson to just keep doing as he's doing, and I think we're going to have a new super middleweight champion of the world. You know, Chris Eubank is really feeling the pace now. He's sitting down in his corner, he's cut, and he looks out of sorts with himself. He's normally so in control of everything going on around him, but Watson's broken that tonight, and I don't think he's quite broke his heart, but he's definitely broke his spirit. And from Michael Watson's point of view, he must be able to take the title now.
Well, you've got a good view of the cut, yeah.
You can see that cut right above the eye, but they've done a good job in the corner. They've actually stopped it flowing. I'm sure Chris has put that out of his mind by now, and he's just feeling the pace of the fight, the heart pounding 10 to a dozen, and still knowing that he's got a strong, forceful Michael Watson rolling forward.
Round 10. And once again, the round begins by following the pattern of the previous 9 completed rounds, with Watson coming forward and trying to force the pace.
The quality of the work has been good all the way through. It's been fought at a hectic pace, but all the shots have been good stuff, good quality, and really lived up to its world title status.
Well, I must admit, I had my own doubts when Michael Watson started off like the 2:15 from Paddington. I didn't think he could keep up that pace, but my credit to him, he has not slackened off one instant. It's a credit to him, it's a credit to Jimmy Tibbs, the conditioning absolutely superb.
10 out of 10. And it's conditioning now that's taking place right in front of us. You know, Watson is mentally in great shape, and physically knows he's there as well. And now he's just got to keep his pace down. But Eubank, to his credit, coming back with good shots, still trying to turn the tide. And good job, Watson's got a good chin.
They both have.
They both fought each other flush.
This is the round of the fight so far. Jimmy Tibbs waving Watson on.
And Watson's trying to respond, and Eubank coming back with good shots of his own. This is what you really call a war.
The blood coming from Watson's nose, his mouth open. He's tired, but he's not letting up.
That was sheer tiredness. Big wild right hand, trying to get lucky and turn the tide. But Watson, you know, is really enjoying this moment now. He's probably remembering all the things that Eubank has wound him up about leading up to the fight, and he's feeding off of them now.
Well, Watson could be on the brink of the world title. He wants so badly.
These two will have plenty of respect for each other after this one.
Well, I know that Michael Watson was broken-hearted after that Earls Court fight, but out of that heartbreak came a burning desire to meet Eubank again and beat him. And he's on his way to doing that here at White Hart Lane.
The thing is, he hasn't gone out there tonight and stood back and admired the man in front of him. He's gone out there determined to take his title. And he's marching forward and throwing punches at all times.
This is another big round for Watson. The crowd behind him. This is Eubank's 29th fight, and maybe, just maybe, it's looking increasingly like his first ever professional defeat.
He looks very tired, and Watson, he looks so strong.
And getting stronger. We're going to take another short break, 11 and 12. Well, he looks a tired man, Barry.
Yes, I watched him during the round there, during the break, and this is a sequence of punches here. Eubank trying desperately hard. And watch Watson as he turned him from a different angle and hit him with an uppercut and a left hook. I watched Eubanks, and he was gulping the water, drinking mouthfuls of water, and that's a sign of a very tired fighter. Dehydrated and exhausted.
Both these boys have fought like warriors tonight.
You know, this fight game is all about preparation and tactics, and Watson has done both absolutely perfectly. And there's no question that I knew that a couple of months ago he was working. I did say to Chris, get on the roads and start working, because you know Watson's going to be in shape for this next one. He said, leave it to me, mate. I know what I'm doing. Well, he hasn't done it right, and Watson certainly has. He's prepared extremely well, and he's carried out the right tactics. He took chances in coming forward like this, but it's paid off for him. And I don't think that Eubanks has the power to knock him out at this stage.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
The question now is whether or not he can last these last 2 rounds.
I think he will, but I can't see him winning. I've got him going into this round. I had him 3 rounds behind Chris Eubank, of course, that is.
What's the way Watson tucks up that shoulder in tight when he comes in? That's a good right hand. Oh my God! He has him in big trouble. Has he got the energy to finish him? Watson's in big trouble here. Eubanks is on a roll here. This is it. This is his only chance. He's got to take it.
Desperate trouble right over us.
Eubanks got to take it now.
Watson shakes his head. He says, you haven't hurt me. But he has been hurt. Eubank pouring it on. They're both nearly out of the ring. Amazing. Is that Eubank's last hurrah, I wonder? Here comes Watson.
It looks like it. He put a lot of energy into that one, and he's absolutely exhausted. The one time that he came forward, Dave, he had the success, and he had that beautiful right hand, and he really hurt Watson, but Watson's coming rolling back here again.
But Watson will not be denied.
Absolutely not. Not tonight. Tonight's his night, Dave. I'll tell you, he's really hurting Eubanks here. And Eubanks looks on the verge of being stopped. And it's not from being hurt, he's just knackered, he's tired, he's exhausted. His legs are going.
What a round! What a round! And he's down! He's straight up. There is a mandatory 8. No, there is not. Back he comes. Oh, he's got Watson down. I don't believe this. Watson is gone. He's
out
looking.
Completely dead.
There's the bell.
Unbelievable. I can't believe it. Watson is out on his feet. I don't know if Chris has got the strength to finish it. They're both exhausted. It was down to recuperating pads now. I think more of Watson than Eubank, because Watson is completely out.
Well, Barry, what do you say about that round? Unbelievable.
I cannot believe it. What a round. Barry Heron's in the corner here with Eubank trying to motivate him. He is so tired. I just couldn't believe it. Pulled it out of the blue. This is the right hand to start off with, I think. Watson, this is where Watson actually put Eubank down. There was a legitimate knockdown. I was about to say that.
Good shot.
All of a sudden he nailed Watson with the uppercut.
Now,
Watch this, bang! Right on the chin. What a punch. Unbelievable.
There is 3 minutes of mayhem before us now. Watson still looks groggy.
Watson is really groggy here, Dave. This is going to be absolutely an incredible round. Here we have it.
I think Watson's got to just cup his hands around his head like this against Ben.
He's really in trouble here. Now, Eubanks is doing the wrong thing. What he's got to do here is he's got to tee Watson up, not throw a load of punches, because he's too tired for that.
Watson's got to go back to the Ben fight and keep his hands up.
The referee's on the verge to stop it.
He's stopped it.
He's stopped it.
Unbelievable.
Oh, no!
Unbelievable.
That is the most incredible end to a world title fight I have ever, I repeat, ever seen in my life.
And I agree.
Eubank was gone. He was a beaten fighter. What do you say, Barry McGuigan?
Oh, I'll tell you, the only chance he had was with one of those big right hands. That is the sign of a champion. Tremendous, tremendous, tremendous finish from Chris Eubank, and so unlucky for Michael Watson. Oh, he had it all sewn up, all sewn up.
Michael Watson won't believe he's not world champion tomorrow morning. He'll think he's had a bad dream.
This is what makes boxing so exciting. This is the sort of stuff that makes it so exciting. One punch can turn the whole fight around. Watson, having dominated the fight for 11 rounds, all of a sudden, bang, and the fight's over.
I tell you, anybody who has seen this fight tonight will remember it for as long as they live. We are going to take a look at the end again. And this is it. Barry McGuigan, talk us through it.
Right hand, left hook. These were little cupping punches, but Michael Watson was very badly hurt here. He was very shaky, and the referee standing there, he's given him the benefit of the doubt, and he said, he's too badly hurt here. I'm not going to let it go on.
And it was significant. There was no complaint at all from the Michael Watson corner. And Eubank is now not only still unbeaten, he is now the WBO Super middleweight champion of the world. He can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it, Dave. That's incredible. Oh my God, what a way. Unbelievable. From one way to the other. Jim, what did you think of that?
Well, I've got to say, I think it's the best finish the fight I've ever seen. To Eubank's credit, the fight was all over.
A wonderful finish from your point of view.
I knew from round 6 this man was too strong for me, but I knew that my training, my running, my brother Simon took me running for 6 weeks, and I knew that I could go the distance, and I knew he would tire with this pace. He kept up a phenomenal pace. When I caught him, I knew that was it. I didn't know whether he would revive in between the rounds. He didn't, and I got him. Let me thank my brother Simon for taking me running. Let me thank my wife Karen for putting up with me this last 6 weeks. And let me thank the people, newspaper, and the people for voting me Boxer of the Year. And let me thank the Men's Association of Great Britain for awarding me the best man award in Britain. I'm sorry I can't talk very clearly, but he hit me a good couple of shots. Michael Watson is a very good fighter, very underestimated. He was very, very strong. I want him tested. I want him tested to see whether he has anything in his blood, because he was so strong.
Now, you had just been knocked down. It looked as if the fight was going to be over.
Yeah.
But you got up.
I've always said I've got a chin. I've got a good chin. What's all these people here? What's all these people? Yeah, I kept it up. God gave me the strength. I thank God for the victory. He gave me the strength, and I thank goodness.
Chris, are you saying, what were you saying about drugs there? I kept hearing you saying
No, I said I wanted urine tested, because no one is that strong. No one can be that strong.
Are you suggesting that don't concern yourself with that? There's a bit of trouble outside the ring which we didn't bother ourselves with. Are you suggesting he was on something there, Chris? Chris, can I keep your attention a bit? We've lost Chris Eubank because there are some fights going on and he wants some protection. So I'm going to hand you back to Jim Rosenthal in just a moment.
Well, we've got some ugly scenes, I'm sorry to have to say. A very vicious fight. We've got chairs flying around. This does no credit to Michael Watson or his supporters. Not a bad time to maybe think about going, but my goodness, what an end we have seen to this WBO Super middleweight title fight. We have seen Chris Eubank come back. A beaten man. I had him 2-3 rounds behind going into the final round. All Michael Watson had to do was stand up and win. But the fighting heart of Chris Eubank, my word, what can you say? Well, what can you say? We're going to be back on Tuesday. We've got the British Super middleweight title fight. Slugger O'Toole against...